let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
Juan, thanks for doing this episode. I really appreciate it. I know we've talked a while about getting it started, but hey, we're here.
Here we are, finally.
I'm going to start with I'm going to give you my condolences. Sorry for your loss.
For my loss.
Yeah, Copa.
Oh.
Starting right off the hop, huh?
I know, right away. Right away. Man, yeah. Certainly hurt. Quite the atmosphere, though. It was awesome.
You actually got to go down and watch one of the matches, right?
Went down to Miami, go watch the final. It was amazing. Once in a lifetime experience. Don't think I'll be driving down there again anytime soon.
Oh, you guys drove?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I remember doing that when I was 13. Like, obviously with my parents. Well, I wasn't driving. But
right.
yeah, that was a rough go. It was 20... For us, I think it was 25 hours or whatever it was, because we went to Disney World when we were kids, right? So
right. Yeah, 24 hours. First, like on the way there, it was all in one go. So we left at about 3:30 in the morning. Got there the next day at 5 in the morning. It was, definitely hurt a lot. My back, my butt. Yeah, it was crazy, but super fun time. Game was amazing. Sucks we lost, but I got to see, the true, I guess I would always see it on television, but that passion of like, South American soccer. It was like so much different watching it on TV and seeing it in real life. It was crazy. I know it's a lot of, I don't know if you saw the news and stuff. There was like a lot of riots and a lot of arrests. It was, it's crazy. But
I was actually surprised to see that here, like not here, but in the States, or whatever. Like, I know sporting events in South America, or even like in Eastern Europe, places like that, or in Africa, they have like these big intense things, but that doesn't really happen in like Canada and the States. It's usually only if a team wins and they just, for some reason, they decide to destroy their own city, but which is bonkers. I've never gotten that, but
yeah, you can just tell that. What are they called? The association that owns South American soccer is like CONMEBOL, I think it's called. CONMEBOL is they're used to stuff like that happening. Having Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Colombia all playing, right? They're prepared for things like that. But then when it happened in North America, they just, I don't know. They weren't prepared at all. I think they thought that it was going to be like, your regular MLS match.
Right. Everyone just leaves happy, whatever, right?
It's good. It's not that cool. No, it's not like that. But it was awesome, man. I saw, what's something I noticed? Argentina has really cool, or rather than cool, they have a lot of chants for their team. You know how like there's chants when you're on the stands?
Right.
Chant for your team, right?
Yeah, chanting it.
Right. I guess, they've been to so many more titles than we have. We didn't have a single one. So I'm just sitting there waiting to like sing something. We didn't start anything. Argentina had like, I swear, like 10 different ones. It was awesome. Everybody was nice though. There was like banter, right? Friendly banter between like people that were sitting beside me and stuff. But it wasn't any other than, what we talked about, the riots and stuff, but it wasn't.
That's good, because that's how it should be.
Wasn't as bad as people made it seem like, or social media showed. But yeah, dude, it was awesome.
No, social media and even like mainstream media, they're only going to show you like the worst of the worst, just because that's what they get clicks on, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about people enjoying themselves, having a good time. Like, skip. Oh, look at this. Someone's getting their ass kicked.
Something. Exactly. Someone's getting arrested. Someone's climbing the fences and stuff. It was... So, me and my dad, we went in, and then We sort of had to like push through a lot of people because they locked the doors because everybody was pushing forward really quick and they only had so many entrances, right? But and just yeah, I guess we got like one of the baby riots you could call it, but it was once we made it through, it was nice, it was good. Went on the stands and all you could see was people sitting on the stairs. You know how there's like the stairs to go up to your seats?
Yeah.
So many people got in like without tickets. That
Oh.
were just sitting on the steps because they don't have a chair, they didn't have a seat, they didn't have a ticket.
Right.
And constantly throughout the entire game, there was security guards up, coming up, kicking everyone out. They would walk down. 5-10 minutes would go by, and then they would all come back up. It's like they had some sort of scheme going down there where they would like hide or something, act like they were leaving, perhaps go through a different door.
Yeah,
and
I was gonna say
sit on the steps again, and we're like, kind of made us, me and my dad, a little pissed off. You know, we paid for a lot for these tickets, and then we were glad because at least the security guards were annoying them constantly. Right. Get out, like can't be here, can't be here. So guess they got in, but they didn't really get to enjoy the match properly. But yeah.
So it was like watching Messi. I'm assuming that's the first time you've seen him play.
First time ever.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Obviously, I wasn't cheering for him. I thought he was faking a lot, but once you see the pictures come out,
yeah,
he really was injured.
The problem was that he got hurt in an earlier tackle and kept playing.
And
then all of a sudden, he's running and he falls, and everyone's going, he didn't even get hit by anything.
He didn't.
I actually said to a buddy of mine, I said, he got hurt in that last tackle. He's dropping because he just can't take it anymore, which is good for him. I mean, if you consider the amount of people that just roll and dive and try to get whatever, he's actually legit hurt.
Yeah.
And he went out, and then he takes off his sock, and his ankle looks like it's 3 times the size of the other one. So
an elephant leg, like dude, it was crazy. And everybody were all there like, can't believe Messi's doing this. Stop flopping, dude. Come on. And then, he got injured. And then the next day we see it on the phone and we're like, holy crap. Take it all back. I take it all back. But amazing. Got to see him play. He subbed out at the 65th minute, I believe. Didn't do nothing crazy, I guess. I mean, he played average. He was injured, obviously.
Yeah, but even before he was injured, like that whole tournament, he didn't do anything spectacular or great. He was just an average player, but because he's Messi, everyone's so willing to suck his you-know-what.
Yeah, hype him up. Yeah, yeah, suck his and nothing too great. That Argentina is mainly, I would say, Di Maria is really good.
I was just going to say, I thought he did way more for Argentina than Messi.
Di Maria does way more, I believe. And Dibu Martinez, the keeper. Amazing keeper. Yeah. Don't like him. I hate him.
Neither do I. He's Villa's keeper.
You're kidding.
No.
I had no clue.
Yeah, he's Villa was, for the last 30 years, they've been like an average mid-table club or whatever, and then they got Martinez, and they've gotten some other people as well, and don't get me wrong, and they've been gone through some coaching changes. So they actually finished in third or fourth this year. I can't remember.
That's good.
Yeah.
Always nice to be top of the table. But he's a penalty specialist. I swear.
But he can't be as good as that. I can't remember his name, but the keeper for Portugal set the record there for 3 straight stops.
Don't know his name.
Yeah.
Keeper, but 3 like in a row. You mean? Like,
yeah, 3 shots in a row. He stopped. There was no missing, no hitting the bar.
No post.
He
just boom, boom, boom.
Hit the ball, pushed it off to the side.
Nice.
3 in a row. It was impressive to watch.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's really good. He's huge, eh? Martinez.
Oh yeah.
I guess keepers usually are really tall.
They're usually like anywhere, typically closer to 6'5", somewhere in there, 6'4", 6'5".
You know who else I saw there? Pupi, Zanetti.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he walked by. Tower, dude. He's huge. I didn't know he was that tall. He's pretty tall. And then
it's because you don't get that reference when you're watching something on TV.
On TV, yeah. You don't. He just looks average, right?
It's the same thing with
NBA. You look at NBA players?
No, I wasn't going to say that. Aaron Judge for the Yankees.
He's huge.
I know, but you just see him out there. You see him at the battering box, where yeah, you're like, yeah, he looks tall. And we actually went and watched. I'm drawing a blank. I suck at remembering athletes' names.
For
Toronto.
TFC.
No,
Raptors.
Blue Jays.
Blue Jays.
It was his last game. Drawing a blank on his name. Dark beard. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Bautista?
That's it, Bautista. It was Bautista's last game. And Judge was out in right field. I'm like, hey, I don't think he looks that tall. And then Donaldson ran out and talked to him.
Josh.
And Donaldson's like 6'2", 6'3".
And he looked short.
It looked like Judge brought his kid to work. It was like, that guy's a beast. And it's not like he's just tall. Like he's proportional to his height. So he looks, when he's by himself, that's why he looks so normal. Whereas like you're about to say about the basketball players, they look tall anyways because they're so thin.
Right.
Like Shaquille O'Neal was the only one that, I mean, he still looked tall because he was fucking massive. He was what, 7'3". But he didn't look as tall as the rest of them, I didn't find, because he was thick.
He was, yeah.
I mean, you put him beside everybody else,
Body
then yeah, you can see it. But when he's standing there by himself, I'm like, that's a tall, big dude.
Yeah.
But you didn't expect, 7'3". So
You know who else is really tall on the Yankees? Giancarlo Stanton.
Oh yeah,
Stanton. I don't know. That guy's huge as well.
As tall as Judge?
No,
No,
but still really tall. Just yeah, like you said, something you don't see on TV. And then going to watch the NBA all the time, dude. Like Steph Curry, I've seen him not up close, but like he's like what 6'4", 6'3",
yeah,
and
see,
then
I always picture him being like 5'10".
he's a midget in the NBA, right? But standing, besides your average person, you're like, whoa, like he's pretty tall, right?
It's funny because I find it's just the opposite when you're watching the pitch. Because the pitch on TV looks massive, but when you're live, it's not. It doesn't look nearly as big.
As big as the camera makes it out to be.
Yeah.
And what was I gonna say? Now that you bring up Bautista, do you remember when Lindor knocked him out?
Yeah.
So I
actually thought that Bautista would have held himself better than what he did. He just looked like he just took it and that was it.
Yeah, he just, I don't know. He got clogged. He just got a nice hit. And then I remember I went to go watch a Blue Jays game against the Orioles, Baltimore. And this player came on. Everybody in the Jays on our team would boo. I was like, why are we? He's the guy that knocked. I was like, oh, it was him. It was Lindor. And I was like, you're right. It was. It was funny at the time. I was like, why are we booing this guy? What did he do?
So is baseball big in Colombia?
Not at all.
No?
Mm-mm.
So it's just soccer?
Soccer and...
Don't say cricket.
No, not cricket. Soccer, volleyball, and basketball, I would say.
Basketball, really?
Yeah.
Beach volleyball I could see. Maybe not indoor volleyball, but...
Not beach volleyball,
really?
Just indoor, regular volleyball. Yeah. And, mainly soccer, dude.
Yeah,
I guess.
Well, that's a given, I think.
Yeah, just,
So,
it comes in a lot with the fact that you need 2 rocks to make a goalie.
Yeah.
Or no, to make the net, I mean.
Yeah.
And a ball. That's it. Not even a ball. A bottle cap.
Yeah.
A bottle of something. Play it like that. That's how I used to play in school back then.
Plastic bottle?
Yeah. We weren't allowed to. They wouldn't give us like balls either to play. So we just make our own bottle cap too.
So
like that.
At what age did you move from Colombia to Canada?
Age 12.
Age 12.
In 2014.
Big transition for you or what?
Huge. Huge.
Did you speak English at all before you came? Not a word? Wow.
So God actually works in mysterious ways. I've said this. My favorite subject was English in school. I had no clue. My parents were in the process of moving here. Whole thing took about 8 years. And about when there was 4 years left, that's when they brought it up to me. Like, this might actually be happening, Juan. And I was like, whoa, let's go. Like, I was.
Oh, yeah?
People were saying, like, asking me, well, what about your friends and family? Yes. Most, if not almost all of my family is back home. I talk to them, Facebook, whatever. But, with my friends, I was just like, guys, I'm gone. This is awesome. I can't wait. And
wow. I would have thought it'd been like especially at that age, you'd have pushback because friends, girlfriends.
Yeah,
And
that's what people tell me.
we're going to a country where 4 months is going to be fucking cold.
Oh yeah, I didn't even. So the most excited I was the snow, dude. I was like, because in Colombia, eternal spring is what Medellin is called.
Oh yeah,
The city, eternal spring. Always hot, right? A lot of rain. Never been like the cold is not a thing. I remember it used to be really cold when it was like 16, 15 Celsius. And you'd be like, whoa, like it's freezing. Yeah. Right? But I was like, I cannot wait for the snow. I get here. I walk in the parking lot of the Pearson Airport. I see this tower of snow. So when I came in, actually, it was like one of the coldest winters in like 60 years in 2014, where like schools were shutting down and cars were like breaking down because of how cold it was. And it was hitting like negative 40 something, I remember. And so it's whatever. We came in shorts and t-shirts.
perfect.
Yeah. We were like so stoked to be here. And then I jumped in the snow, dude, face first. Hated it.
Yeah, I
I
bet.
was like, this is not what the movies make it out to be. No way. And
But to be fair, I think in the movies, they're not wearing shorts and t-shirts. They're still wearing, pants, a jacket,
scarf,
yeah,
beanie, right? Just I used to just think of Home Alone. It's the snow, so pretty in the house and all that. It's like I cannot wait. Snowball fight. And then I realized this snow is not working, man, for a snowball. And then my little cousin, is like, you need packing snow. I was like, what do you mean? What is that? He's like,
Yeah, where do I get that?
Yeah, it's like when the snow comes in for. I was like, dude, what the heck? Like that is not. But yeah, no, huge transition. Like I said, English was my favorite, and then when I came here, first weekend school. So end of grade 7 is when I came in. Funny enough, school in Colombia starts in January, and it ends in September, October, or November, and then our vacation is November, December.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For Christmas, and then
The only reason it's the way it is here is because of farming.
oh really?
Yeah, they needed everyone needed their kids back for the summer on the farms.
Oh,
So that's the reason why we have July and August off.
so because like the weather, I was gonna say
Yeah.
like because it's cold out. You want your vacation to be in the summer, right?
Well, that's the way how we look at it now. But don't quote me on this, but I'm 99% sure that our school system was based off of how farming was. So it was back then. Everyone had all their kids working on the farm. They need them for the harvest, all the stuff. So
Cool.
which always seemed weird to me because like harvest and stuff would be still in the fall. I guess it depends on what you're planting and what you're using or whatever.
Right. Everything's
But,
different.
but maybe they need more hands-on for planting, getting everything going, monitoring, whatever. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not a farmer, so don't take what I say as anything other than just I'm an idiot.
Yeah, no, I
Oh.
have no clue. Don't know much about farming. But so January to November, right? So when I came here, I was like, all right, let's start grade 7. They're like, no, dude, it's the end of grade 7, like January, February, and then I believe I did. Sorry, we did not come in January. We came in February 17th, which is Family Day, right?
Oh, okay.
Family Day is February 17th or 14th.
That's somewhere in there.
Somewhere around there. So I did half of February, March, April, and then when is it? May, June that is done, something like that. So I was like, whoa, like I
was
skipped.
this high school or grade school?
Grade school, elementary. So grade 7.
Yeah, so it would have been the end of June was when
It was
that
done.
ends.
Yeah. So I was like, whoa, like I skipped all of grade 7, and then
well, that's all right.
yeah, I know. I was like, whoa. And then I noticed a lot of things, dude. Like, I don't want to say the education system was like bad or worse. It was just more like behind stuff that I was getting taught in grade 7 and I had already seen in grade 5.
Yeah,
grade 6.
our education system is horrible.
You think?
It used to be really good, and now it's
Would you say is because it's like free, or is it we're like?
well, it's not necessarily free because we pay for it with our taxes, but we've had like teachers come in from like teaching abroad or whatever, and say they come in and they teach grades 6 or 7. Like, I was teaching this from like same as what you said, like grade 5, and our grade 7s are learning it. So it's like we're behind the
It's
ball
like
on a lot of
behind,
things,
right? Yeah. So I noticed that, and then, so yeah, I skipped all of grade 7. I remember I had to get out of. I used to do sports. I used to do swimming. I did swimming for 5 years. I played basketball. I played a lot of soccer too. Was never good at it, but I loved playing. I loved watching. So I had to get out of all that, and all I did was just television, video games, dude. I literally came to Canada looking like a whale. I was huge. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
wow.
yeah. And then grade 7, right? Grade 8, and then I turned into a stick. I was super thin after that. It was crazy. I remember. What was it?
Having a hard time acclimating to our food. You're like, oh, this is crap. I can't even eat it.
Oh, let me tell you. No, so obviously, rightfully so. I very much prefer Colombian food.
Right.
Way more. Everything's just way better. It's awesome. I do like poutine. I love poutine. My parents hate it. They hate the sauce, like the gravy on it. I'm like, that's awesome, dude. I love it. I love poutine.
It's funny that you said that. I just had this conversation with someone last night. They love French fries and gravy, but hate the cheese curds.
The cheese curds.
I'm like, oh, it's the best part.
That's like, yeah. When it's like, when the gravy is hot enough to melt it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you're just pulling up with the fork and, it's all
like
stretching.
Cheesy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's awesome. I loved it. Yeah. It was good, man. But then, so like I said, first week, school right away. On my first day of school, I couldn't help but think like I was in some sort of like American movie where like they're gonna bully the foreigner. I kid you not. No, listen.
That's gonna be the title of your movie when you're older.
I don't know. Like,
Bully the foreigner.
Bully the foreigner. Yeah, or bully the Colombian. And then I kid you not.
I guess that would make you a Fez.
It would make me a what?
Fez.
What's a Fez?
You've never seen that 70s show?
No, I know the 70s show, but I've...
Oh, so when this new kid shows up, and I forget what country he's from, and he goes to say his name, and right when he says it, something loud happens, and one of the stars from the show goes, "We're just going to call you Fez." because well, Fez just stands for foreign exchange student.
Yes, there you go. That would be a Fez, yeah. Or, well, would foreign exchange students be like the ones that stay and then they go back?
That is true. Yeah.
Right, yeah. No, it'd be foreign exchange.
But he never does.
Oh, he just stays.
He stays there the entire time, and then even when they jump forward to, they came out with that 80s show, and it flopped, but it wasn't the same cast. Then they came out with that 90s show, and it's got the same people. It's got like the same parents, and Fez is still in it, and now he's running like 3 hair salons or something.
Business, right? Yeah, that's awesome. I should get on that. I know that 70s show.
I love that show. It was great.
Yeah, I scroll through it on Netflix all the time. I haven't clicked on it. But so back to it. I kid you not, Ian, I sat down. I was super scared. I couldn't understand a thing anyone said. And it was weird because the night prior I was like, dude, I'm so excited. But when I sat in class and everyone's just staring, I'm like, oh Jesus.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel good.
That would be awkward.
The kid that they sit beside me in grade 7, he was like 6'5", maybe.
Wow.
If not taller. Ginger, tall, super nice guy. Love that guy. I talk to him still. His name was Tyler. And I just stare at him. And then he stares at me. And I get so scared. And I just start tearing down. I'm like, oh my God, dude, what am I doing? No, this... Teacher pulls me out, says something. I have no clue what she's saying to me. And I'm just like, yeah.
Just nodding.
Yeah, no clue. Everyone saw it. And then to this day, to the people that I still talk from that class, we talk about it. It was like, you still remember that first? I'm like, yeah, I remember it.
It was traumatic.
I guess so. But just more than nerves, just super nervous. But awesome. It was super fun. Met everybody. I started... They were only teaching me English because I needed to learn English. I guess they were preparing me for high school mainly. And then within a year, I picked it up pretty fast. People tell me, yeah. I guess that would help a lot with all the TV I used to watch and all the games I used to play. It was never dubbed in Spanish. It was always just in English. So I'd get
Okay.
stuck playing, or it would be subtitled. So I could hear it, I
Yeah.
guess. And I would just like read it, right? Read the subtitles. But everything was always in English, never really dubbed. It was like fully Spanish.
Right.
But yeah, no, it was good, right? Grade 7, grade 8, come grade 9, I was like, oh God, here we go again. High school, foreigner kid. But I knew,
Foreigner kid.
yeah, I was like, but I knew English pretty well by then.
That'll be your sequel to the Bully the Foreigner,
The Bully-
and now it's
Foreigner
Foreigner Kid.
too. Foreigner kid. No,
Your,
yeah.
your accent's actually pretty minimal.
Do you notice anything when I talk, like,
Oh yeah,
slightly?
yeah. But I mean, compared to your dad,
Oh, you talk to my dad, right?
Yeah.
Super strong.
yeah.
A lot to do with the younger you come, the, I guess, kids' minds are like a sponge.
Well, it's that, and I to this day believe that everyone absorbs everything differently. So like my buddy Martin, the guy that you said that you could barely understand, he
Yeah.
came here in '89, and he's lost next to like none of his. But I know another guy, Martin Slimming. He's been here the same time. He's got no accent at all. I didn't even know he was from England, but he's from Liverpool.
Wow.
And he's lost everything. And I had to go to Indiana for 3 weeks, and I started saying certain words the same as other people that were there. And I was like, oh, do they think I'm making fun of them? Like, it was coming out. So I think I'd be one of those people that would pick up an accent fast,
Naturally.
and then lose it again as soon as I leave, though.
Right.
So whereas some people they just hang on to them and they're super thick, and it's funny though, because when Martin says he goes home, they say he's got a bit of a Canadian accent, and when his brother comes over, it's way thicker.
Yeah.
But his is still super thick. Like living here, you wouldn't know that his accent.
He had no Canadian accent. I
know.
it was, like I said, a little hard to understand him, but no, it was good. I loved.
That's right, Martin. You have to articulate your words,
words.
just a little bit better so
Is
Juan
this
can
better?
understand.
It was like,
Hey, speaking of which, so we were talking earlier off mic that I couldn't find your name in my contacts because I think whenever I got you to put it in, you put in Sebastian,
right.
right? So talk a little bit about that, just how like you were talking about parents' names and they all get added into one and then everyone gets the same first name. Just
Right.
kidding.
No. Yes. So, like I said, I guess in our culture, you take father's last name and mother's last name. Kind of funny because here I learned that it's like you take the father's last name, right? Mother's name, like you like boot it out, right? No, you take both, and then your parents obviously pick your first name. I guess my parents just wanted to pick the stereotypical Juan, right? And then Juan goes with a lot. It's with a lot of other names, is what I mean. So Juan Pablo, Juan Andres, Juan Felipe is a cousin of mine. Right, Juan Sebastian, which would be me, Juan Sebastian. And then it's kind of a pain, dude, talking to people when it's like, what's your name? And I don't know, like, to say Juan or Sebastian. And then I've said both to different people. You told me your name was Sebastian. I'm like, it's both. And they're like, oh, or you told me your name was Juan. I was like, it's Sebastian also. Oh, or like writing it down. My full name won't fit in a lot of spaces, dude. It won't. And then,
So how does that work then? So say you go and get so do boys and girls both get both their parents' names?
yeah.
Okay, so now you've got two names. Like obviously, we're going to start with you. You get married to a woman, then she's got two names. So how does that work for your kids? Do the kids then get four names?
No, the kids get my first last name and her first last name.
So the
Because
first,
she also would have two from her mom and her dad, and I would have two from my mom and my dad.
so whose goes first then?
Honestly, for me, it goes my dad's. So I guess would be the dad's go, which would be Dominguez.
Right.
My dad's first. And my mom's first, Mendoza.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So
that's
so the dad's names still continue on.
the first.
You just hang on to your mom's name for while you're her kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then
So-
I were to marry a woman, right? I take our son or kid, whatever, would have my first last name and her first last name. Yeah, that's how it would go. And then we pick the first name, whatever it is. Yeah.
It's so complicated with the way how names go. Like I know in where is it? It's one of the Scandinavian countries, or a bunch of them. It's like I didn't know. So like the first time that I ever watched the CrossFit Games, there was a girl and her name was Anna Thor's daughter, and I just assumed, yeah, we get it. It's someone's daughter. Maybe it was someone famous, and that's not the case. It was all the girls from that country. Daughter gets added to their last name. So the last name is Thoris.
Women specifically only?
Right. And the men has son. So that's how you can determine male or female.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I had no clue. Oh, that's how you determine them. What?
Yeah, because all the girls have daughter in their last name and all the sons have son in their last name.
Wow, dude, I had no clue.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, me either. It was just something that
so
came up.
everybody has the same last name essentially? Being daughter or son? All the boys have the same last name? And all the girls have the same last name?
Well, it's just an add-on to the last name, right?
So there is an extra
so-
last name that they pick, or they,
Right.
that
So
their
like
parents.
the girl from the CrossFit, there was 3 of them, and they're all joking. I'm the original daughter because she was the first one to the games, whatever. So like,
Funny,
there's
yeah,
Anna
that's
Thoris, and then hyphen daughter. I think that's the way how it goes.
Thoris
So
daughter.
Thoris is the actual last name, daughter because she's female. And if I'm bastardizing all this, I apologize to whoever's listening, but that was the way how I took it from the way how it was explained to me. So
Right.
it'd be I can't think of any of the guys, but say it's Dominguez. You there would be Dominguez son.
Dominguez, so it'd be Sebastian Dominguez' son.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or Dominguez daughter if you're a female.
Right. Wow, dude,
But-
that's
Like I said, when I was
Confusing.
watching, it's very.
confusing.
Oh, I mean, once you know it, you know it. But if you don't, you're sitting there going, "Why is everyone's last name daughter?"
Yeah, you would
if
think
it's written. But when it wasn't, I thought they were just talking about someone else's
someone's
daughter.
Yeah,
So-
right. You would. That's weird. Yeah, I don't. There's a lot of weird things like that, I guess. With sorry, I was gonna say language. It's not really language, but with like names and stuff, right? But yeah.
So back in Colombia, I mean, you were only there till you were 12. And again, this is my ignorance because I've never been to Colombia. All I've ever seen is things like Narcos and stuff like that, right?
Oh yeah, the usual Pablo.
I don't remember seeing any movie theaters there, but did you guys obviously went to the movies all the time? So
We got our landmark, right?
Yeah? Oh, yeah?
Right. It's not landmark, but what I'm saying is we got
yeah, it's a 24 theater,
movie theater.
whatever.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So did you guys get all the American movies and everything, or did you guys just showcase your own?
So we got that too, obviously, showcase local movies, I guess you'd call them, right?
Yep.
But yeah, no, all everything, the new ones, the ones that you would await, right? I remember a big deal, for example, Men in Black 3. Remember? Because I was like, oh, we got to go watch that. It was awesome. The difference is they would come out on the day they were supposed to come out in English with subtitles. You would have to wait, I think it was like a week or a few days for it to come out fully dubbed in Spanish. Was, I would say, the one thing that's like sort of different to hear, because you don't have to wait, right? You just listen to it in English. Yeah.
Did that not mess you up watching someone talking in your language, but the mouths aren't lining up?
It wouldn't mess me up, but it was certainly weird. It wouldn't, because like the words that would come out didn't match with the person's mouth. Yeah.
Especially when the person stops talking and
It's still going. And it's still going. Yeah. Obviously, you always, always. But you don't, I guess you overlook it. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah. But it happened a lot.
Well, I know you were. We've had a couple conversations about like different movies and stuff, and Dazed and Confused. You said you loved. Did you see that here, or did you see that back in Colombia?
No, I saw it here.
Okay.
Here, yeah.
Yeah.
It,
because you were saying that you would have loved to have grown up in that time.
Oh yeah, I talk a lot about it with a friend of mine. I think it was because of him that I watched him. Oh, you ever watched Dazed and Confused, dude? I was like, I've heard of it. I've seen clips of it, but no, he's like, watch it, dude. It's really good.
Yeah.
Watched it. Me and him talk about it. It would have been nice to be in that time.
It was
At least I think so.
I agree.
You agree?
I mean,
Yeah.
I was born the year before that took place,
Oh yeah.
but it was I don't know. It was the same as the '80s. I look back and think it was a better time then to grow up as a kid, anyways. Maybe as a teenager, not even teenager. I still think it would have been better back
Teenager,
then.
dude, or
There's-
like the 20s, my 20s, my early
Yeah.
20s is what I think would have been nice.
like there's too much people relying on their cell phone now, and there's just not going out. Oh, I can just
I hate it.
Yeah, it's
I
just
hate it. It's
so-
not. I feel like cell phones, social media completely ruined
absolutely.
socializing.
Yep.
It's certainly technology is good that it will. It's kind of crazy to think about. It will never stop
No.
evolving, right?
Right up until the point where it kills us all.
We're to the point where, yeah, like Elon says, AI
Well,
take over the world. And
it's funny that he says that, but they've had like people have been saying that well before him. They've made multiple movies about it well before him. Right?
iRobot, Will Smith,
Terminator.
Terminator.
So 1984,
Skynet.
right there. That's exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So obviously, even before '84, they've been talking about.
They've been
this-
knowing
yeah.
about that.
So.
Yeah. No, it's I certainly not a huge fan of social media. I would say technology, like I said, is good, but it's just so different now, dude. I see a lot of movies so cool where it was like, and I even got to do it as a kid, just going up in a bike asking if Carlos is home.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Using a cell, like the not cell phone, but like the home phone.
Yeah, the one with
Things-
the long cord that was like
long
30
co-
feet long.
Grandma had the one that you would spin the dial,
Yeah.
and you had to like wait for it, right? Like, just things like that. Doesn't matter that like it was the old one. Just the fact that there was a lot more socializing. Now it's just a quick.
You should see the phone I have in the basement.
Quick text.
It's just in storage, but it's from my grandfather's. It's the original phone from my grandfather's farm. So it's a big wooden box. Originally, it had the thing that you pick it up and you crank the side,
Oh my god!
and you would hold the lever to your ear, and then you speak into the mouthpiece. When my dad was, I forget how old he
ancient.
said he was, like 10 or 12 or whatever. They had it upgraded, so they had a receiver put on, so like the newer phones. But same thing, you still had to spin the thing on the side, and that charges the batteries, and then you would tap the thing on top that the receiver hangs on, and you would get the operator. Like there was no dialing. It was just you would just talk, and the operator, you'd say, hey Mabel, patch me through to whoever, and they're an operator somewhere. They'd pull out a cord. It's just like John Wick. When they're talking to those operators there, they'd pull out a cord and they'd put in another,
Right.
and that would be how the operator would connect you from phone to phone.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Right.
But we're talking like the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's just crazy. Times change, man,
yeah.
for the good and for the bad. Yeah.
So look, the other thing that I really liked about not that we need to go backwards, but back to Days Confused, the cars.
Mhm.
That was such a great time for cars, and I don't think the people back then
Yeah.
appreciated the time.
Of cars.
Well, just the 70s in
The
general.
time
right?
in general. Right. Yeah. No, it would be, then again, we always want what we don't have.
True.
In that time, it was just so much simpler, or
It
at
was.
least it seemed. I'm sure, obviously, it was just so much simpler. But what I love about it is the socializing of it. Party at the Moon Tower.
Yeah.
Everybody's going, and then just go there. There's no texting. Hey, is everybody going? What's happening? Showing. No, it's just meet up. Everybody goes, talk. Right. It's awesome.
And then you wander from group to group to group as like a little social butterfly,
Exactly.
and you get to see everybody, right?
Yeah.
Whereas
talk
opposed
everybody.
I'm in a group chat here and talking to everybody. Like,
No, you're not.
no, you're sitting there and you're hitting buttons on something, but you're not actually socializing with anybody. So
Yeah, it's not. Or the art of writing letters, right?
Yep.
A lost art, I would say. I never got to do it, but people used to write letters to each other,
Yeah.
send, right? The original.
well, again, Martin, that's how he got to meet his wife, so to
Through
speak.
letters, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, pen pals overseas. She was here, he was there.
People keep them all the time. Like they still, I've seen people show me letters from, right? Like they used to send to each other. Like
Yeah.
couples, right?
But now you can-
70s, 80s.
Now you can just write up an email and send it, and they get it right away. Whereas before you had to sit down, write, and then send it, and then you're right, wait for however long the mail takes.
Yeah, days. Which it's got its pros and cons,
For sure.
right? But yeah, it's awesome. Love Matthew McConaughey and Dazed and Confused.
I want to say like that was I don't know if that was considered his breakout role or not, but that's the one that I think most people remember him in because of he had those classic lines,
His
right?
quote, I get older, they stay the same age.
Yeah. And that laugh that he had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's awesome.
That was a great movie. I watch that all the time. And I know we've talked about Snatch, which you said you haven't seen yet, but you need to watch that. It's
Didn't
such
get
a
the
good-
chance.
Yeah.
I will do, for sure.
Yeah, it was such a good movie. That was one that I used to watch like on the regular, like once a month for like the longest time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Which is funny though, because like I always thought that Brad Pitt did such a good job in that movie. And I found out afterwards that they had to cut out a lot of his stuff because he didn't sound proper in a lot of the scenes. So I guess he did struggle with it a bit. And I know some people say, oh, his accent doesn't sound that great or whatever, but
Right.
yeah, it is what it is. So
Yeah, no, Brad Pitt's good actor. You like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I do. That
Awesome.
was good.
Cliff Booth.
Yeah. Beating up Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. It was controversial for some reason, or at least I read.
Yeah.
That like
They said that scene didn't actually happen.
obviously I don't think it didn't actually happen.
Uh-huh.
But like I think surprise, surprise, people are like getting offended that like they made seem Bruce Lee as like a wimp or like getting his ass kicked
Yeah.
by Brad Pitt.
And they were complaining that he's made out to be arrogant as well, which I would think that anybody that's at the top of their field, top of their game like that is
Would
going to
be.
have a small amount of arrogance to them. So,
Ego. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
like, look at sports heroes. Like,
all the time.
almost all of them have that, if not just a small, a lot of arrogance to them. But,
Jordan.
yeah,
Oof, you hear the way he talks?
I think he
Fuck.
sounds just perfect. That's why he's the GOAT.
Yeah, I could argue with you about that. I don't think. I mean, hell of a player, without a doubt. He had that.
You don't think he paved the way for all the other players, though?
He made what do you call it? It's almost as if like he made people want to watch basketball. It was like a lot of people came together to actually watch him. It's like he's that guy. Like it's that man, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, and I feel like that's what.
'Cause
So
he was so special.
I'll give him that because he sort of just did something that no one had ever done.
Well, speaking of that, I'll have to look up what the name of the movie is or documentary it is. Ronan at work was telling me about it, that there's it's about Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. They literally saved the NBA. It was like the sport was dying, and the rivalry between Magic Johnson and Larry Bird
Is what
propelled the NBA to
dying
back to,
as in spectators were.
I
Like,
guess.
not much.
Yeah, there was nothing going on. It was
watching.
just people just out there playing basketball. But
Right.
you need to have that. It doesn't even necessarily have to be controversy, but you have to have that rivalry between at least two teams,
Mm-hmm.
or else you're just sitting in the stand waiting for the game to end, right?
And
So-
yeah, true.
so.
Not much, I guess, not much talent back then. But obviously, there
I'm
was
sure there
a
was,
lot.
but if you-
Compared to today,
yeah, well,
not at all. Given
that could be argued. I know you think back then there were a bunch of plumbers. but
Plumbers, Jordan playing,
come on.
got his 6 rings, but let's be real. The competition was nowhere near than what it is that LeBron has to face today.
I think it's just as.
Just as?
Yeah.
How?
You don't think there's anybody else that was good back then?
Jordan had to face who? Karl Malone on the East, and that's it.
Well, just look at his own team. So you don't think Scottie Pippen was good?
True.
You don't
got
think
carried.
Rodman was good?
He got carried. I know. It was like Pip. He wouldn't have done anything without Pippen or Dennis Rodman.
I don't know about Dennis Rodman. He wasn't there for half the stuff.
He was
He
too
was-
busy partying with
Yeah.
Kim Jong Un. He wasn't partying with him, but meeting Kim Jong Un. What did he do? He married Carmen Electra in a weekend during the finals.
Yep.
Didn't he? Insane. WWE appearances.
Well, why wouldn't you, right?
Like-
I'm a basketball player. I also wrestle.
I gotta give him his like. I admire that he was just wanted to be different. Maybe not so much in like messing up the finals and going to like the Vegas and all that. His hairstyle, the
rings,
exactly the way he used to dress. That was so cool. His hairstyles are like the coolest thing I would say. Nothing I would ever rock personally. Sorry.
What about the dress? Would you wear that?
No, no way. But
see, to me, like the difference between Jordan and your guy. Jordan had passion, whereas I just don't see that from LeBron. Like Jordan would.
You don't see passion from LeBron.
No, he doesn't have to. He didn't have that same physical struggle that Jordan had to go through. And Jordan stayed in his feet. He powered through things, injury, whatever. Someone trash talked him. You saw a completely different Jordan coming out. And now instead of playing at 110%, he's now playing at 150%. They always said that was the biggest mistake. Don't piss him off. You're going to get an even tougher Jordan to play against. Whereas LeBron is super talented. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. But he doesn't have that push through. He just...
You don't think when he gets tested, he plays better?
No.
Statistically, his averages go up every time he gets into the playoffs.
Yeah, you're just getting into the playoffs. I'm talking about someone trash talking.
Trash talking him on the spot.
Yeah. Or saying, I guess you're not as good as I thought you were.
I guess.
And then off he goes.
I'll give you that because I feel like you sort of have to adapt to how things are. Back then, 100%, game was way more physical. So nowadays, I feel like there's a lot of rewards in sort of, getting the referee to get your way, right?
Right.
Why wouldn't you use that? A lot of people love to say, oh, LeBron flop, LeBron this, LeBron that.
He does do that a lot, though.
Why wouldn't you? When you can adapt.
This is the South American football they're talking right now. Why not get that little extra advantage?
Why not?
Oops, I've fallen.
Why not? I mean, and then you say that LeBron doesn't have that passion? 9 straight NBA finals is not passion?
That's just depends on how good your team is. Look at the teams that he went to. I'm not going to say by any means I'm an expert in the NBA. I don't even watch it that much anymore. But he went to when he went to Miami, that was a star-studded team.
He had a good team in Miami, but the team he had prior to that he took to the finals in 2003.
Right.
Nobody. No one. And he made it, right? I would argue it was just himself. He had
people with him. He didn't have superstars with him, but he had sometimes
his guys.
Sometimes it's better to have a solid team that works well together than having superstars.
Just superstars.
Sometimes that works against you.
Look at nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the NBA, very notorious for that. They're stacking up together a bunch of superstars, and it hasn't been working well.
Because everybody wants the ball.
The Brooklyn Nets had Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, James Harden, all in one team. Nuts. That's crazy. They did nothing.
But
nothing.
They have to be able to support each other. That was the difference between
too many egos in one team.
Yeah, but you still had that in other teams, and like we just said, Pippen, Jordan, and Rodman.
And that worked out
But they played well. So that was I think that's the difference between playing back then and playing now. Is back then there was a rivalry between teams, which you don't seem to have as much anymore. Now it's more of a business. I'm here to play. I'm here to get paid,
and I want to be the face of the team.
Right. Whereas back then it was a struggle. They wanted to actually play. They wanted to win
together.
No, I don't know. I think that's more about what I mean about the passion for the game. It was
totally. I agree.
Now it's just where can I go to get the biggest paycheck? Where can I do this here?
True. See that a lot in soccer as well.
It's all sports now. Don't get me wrong. It's not just basketball.
True.
That's all sports. So even in soccer, when everyone's talking about Southgate, one of the things that he did was he brought his players together. When in the past he had a John Terry for Chelsea, you had Steven Gerrard from Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
These are guys that they couldn't get to play well together. They were the best in their positions, but because there was such a hate on from team to team, it was tough to get them to come together to play.
Right.
And maybe that was like it. Like maybe it was like that for teams all over, like for like national teams. It was really prevalent in the England game though, and I feel like that's almost why the managers would just play super safe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make any mistakes. These guys don't play that well together. Just they'd stick with that 4-4-2, which nowadays that system doesn't really work anymore. So
Yeah, I don't know. It's always pretty funny watching England underperform, dude.
They always underperform.
Nothing even against them, but at this point, it's like they've been losing so much that I kind of just I'm okay with them. I'm like, yeah, I hope they do. Just keep laughing, but always have such a great team, and they just can't do it.
Yeah,
That's my one thing is no chemistry together, too many egos. They all want to be a face of the team, but you can't. Team with 11 guys, well, more than 11 guys, but 11 starters.
Yeah,
gotta work well collectively.
I think if Southgate had the 2002 to 2014,
he would have made it work.
Oh, absolutely. They were supposed to win then. Like they had like a complete star-studded team, but they didn't play well together. So it doesn't matter how big of superstars you have if you don't have that collective cohesion to make your team work together. So, like there's been like when Ottawa Senators back in 2000, they won the President's Cup. They had a bunch of nobodies, really. They all went on to become somebodies,
right? But
they were just a bunch of nobodies that played really, really well together.
The President's Cup is
nobody seems to really care about it, but that's the team that wins the league.
Okay.
Stanley Cup's like that's a tournament at the end.
The most wins,
right?
Is okay.
President, yeah. So, yeah, that's the end of hockey, anyways. For me,
yeah,
I don't even watch it anymore.
I
get into it once in a while. And
I'll be honest with you. I watch the Leafs lose. I feel like that's all we do.
They win a lot more than Ottawa.
I guess I'm not sure,
but
I know the Leafs like kill it in the league. Matthews this, Matthews that, Marner. Come to playoffs. When I watch, I'm like, okay, playoffs, time to win, dude. We suck.
Yeah.
Every year, it's so bad. And I don't watch. I'm not a hockey guy. I'm not gonna tell you here what to do and what the team should do because I have no clue. One thing we should do is get rid of Mitch Marner.
Oh, I think that's right across the board. Everyone's been saying that.
Dude, I don't know. It's just I don't know. They all get scared. They all get bullied in the playoffs. It's
see, they right now have the same problem that Ottawa had when they were playing better. As soon as they get to the playoffs, they don't have a big enough team for the rumble tumble. That it's way tougher hocky.
The way I see it is physical.
Yeah,
the playoffs are physical. Boston is so good at that. New York was really good at that this postseason.
You have to have size and grit.
Yeah, just I don't know, passion, hard, play hard. I feel like something that the Leafs. Matthews was out with what was it? Food poisoning no.
I think it was just a headache.
He had a headache.
One of them had a head. Oh no, that was
Nylander.
Nylander had
a headache. Matthews had. There was this very. What was the word? It was such a big word. He had the shits. The dude had the shits, and he had to sit out.
Yeah.
I don't like. Wow, that's just he got. I think they got scared. I don't know.
Take some Imodium.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude.
That's what everyone else does. It's not like I have a trip. Oh, I have the shits. I'm going to have to cancel the trip.
Yeah,
no, you take Imodium.
You
deal with it. So he should have gotten out there, skated hard. If you shit your pants, you shit your pants. You've got another pair.
You keep.
Yeah, you got another pair in the dressing room. Just go and swap it out.
Yeah, exactly. Don't they always like do the line changes? Just go quick. I don't know. Just it's so unfortunate. My cousin watches the Leafs all the time, and it's just I watch the playoffs. I like the playoff, right? Who doesn't watch the playoffs of sports? So bad, dude. Every time. Hopefully, we'll see.
I wish they'd shorten it down. I don't like the 7-game series.
Really?
Five is probably more than enough. They're just drawing it out for
Are you
financial
talking
gain.
about for hockey or for sports in general?
For hockey. Well, sports in general, yeah.
You think 7 series is not good?
Yeah, I mean, look at the way how soccer's played. It's one match.
One and
Yeah.
done.
I mean, yeah, you've got you have your group stage in the beginning where you got to get further into the tournament, but then once you get to a certain point, it's just single game elimination, and that's how it should be. Like the Stanley Cup Finals, it shouldn't be a 7-game series. It should be whittled down to maybe 3.
3.
Or push harder. You know, if you lose that first game, that means you have to win the next 2. You go all out in those next 2.
Maybe. I've never actually thought of that. I don't mind watching Game 7 series. I like it. I think it's cool. I think it gives teams more of a chance.
Well, that's just it. More of a chance.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
More of a chance. Come together, guys. We're screwing up. Like, we got to stand up. And it gives it more of that, like, you see when the Oilers took it to Game 7?
Yeah.
Oh, I was so sure they were going to win, dude. I was so happy for McDavid. I was like, They got it, dude. No one, you come back down from, what was it, 3-1 or 3-0?
Yeah.
They were down. Or 2, was it 2-1? I don't know.
I want to say it was 3-0.
It was,
because they were talking about the first. If they're able to come back and win that 4th game, it would have been the first time since like 1952.
that
At least for the
somebody
last
did
time
a team did that.
they won 4 straight after the other team won 3.
Yeah. So just it builds it up more.
But why 7? Why not make it a 9-game series? At what point do you go, this is too much?
That is too much. 9 would be way too much.
Well, but again, why not 5? People just hear the term
Game 7.
Game 7.
And it's like,
because it's just because that's how it's always been.
yeah.
But if all of a sudden it just turned in, if it had always been Game 5 of the whatever, right?
Yeah. Game 5.
That's the normal.
That's very true, man. I never actually thought about that. Yeah, soccer, one and done. Football, rightfully so.
Yep.
Cannot imagine a Game 7 series of football. Oh my god!
You'd have a roster of like 60 guys on there just as like not even the first team. You got 60 guys in the back going, well, someone's getting hurt here. I'm going to be in about 20 minutes. I better go and warm up.
Better get ready because a lot of CTE is gonna happen there. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh well, I should probably let you go. I know we got to get going soon. So
yeah,
we're at the hour mark, so that's usually where we try to cap it off anyway. So
for sure.
Really appreciate you coming out. I know we've been talking about this for a bit, so
yeah. No, I appreciate the invite.
Yeah.
Great time. It's awesome.
I'll have to have you come back. You'll have to go and watch Snatch. We can maybe do a movie review or something on
have another
couple
talk
movies.
about it.
Yeah.
For sure, 100%.
Hopefully we won't have to wait for another tournament to come up for soccer before we talk again. So
yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, I appreciate you coming out, and we'll talk to everybody next time.
Yeah.